Hello to the crochet lover, my name is Dasha and welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to crochet these little pumpkin pillows, which you can crochet either in a small size or in a bigger one. To be honest, I was so nervous about this video because it's almost 2 weeks before November and we all know that in November people are start preparing for Christmas. So I was worried if this video isn't too late to be posted, but you guys send me so many messages that it's never too late for pumpkin tutorial. So thank you so much for your support. I love you. So as you can see, I made 2 pumpkins. One is bigger, one is small, because I still have some yarn leftovers. I decided to make a smaller version. The tutorial is super easy and I'm sure even beginners can handle this. And I would also call this project Trust the Process project, because in the middle of making this pumpkin I was so concerned if it will turn out ugly, but as you can see, I'm in love. This is a perfect autumn pillow. So let's get to work. I'm going to use 2 skeins of the yarn in size 3. I'm going to crochet using 2 threads in one time. Also you will need hook number 8, tapestry needle, and some toy filler or pillow filler. I'm going to use one from my old pillow. Let's make our chains. Make a knot, and let's make 30 chains. Now let's make our first row. Chain 1 and turn. Now yarn over, insert your hook into the second loop from your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 3 loops on your hook. This stitch called half double crochet, and we're going to make half double crochet all across our chains until the very end. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Continue until the end of the row. I've finished my row of half double crochet, and now chain 1 and turn. For the next rows, we have to work in the back loops only. If you pay attention at your stitches, you can see those V signs. So these parts of the V are the front loops, and these parts are the back loops. These are the loops that are not facing us. So now, after you made a chain 1 and turn, yarn over and insert your hook into the back loop of the first stitch or last stitch of the previous row. Yarn over, back loop. I'm not working under the both loops like this, just under the back loop. Pull up the loop, half double crochet. Repeat this step of making half double crochet into the back loops only until the end of the row. I just finished my row, and now you have to make chain 1 and turn again. For all the next rows, you should work half double crochet back loop only. Repeat these rows of half double crochet into the back loop only until you have 30 rows in total. I made 30 rows of half double crochet back loops only, and this is what I have at this moment. Now let's close our pumpkin. Insert your hook in our first chains that we made previously and work slip stitch. Then continue inserting your hook into the back loops only and connecting your sides of the pumpkin with slip stitches. Now, after you connected the sides of your pumpkin, here is my slip stitch row of connection. Take your scissors and cut some yarn. I'm gonna cut about 50 centimeters. And now you can fasten up. Now, turn your pumpkin inside out so the connection slip stitch row will be inside of your pumpkin, like this. Here's the connection row. I'm gonna use just one thread and leave the other thread aside. Now take your tapestry needle and insert your yarn tail. Now we are going to close this side of the pumpkin. To do this, start inserting your needle like this into every top stitch of every row. When you reach the start, pull the thread and close the pumpkin. Even after closing, we still have a little hole in our pumpkin, whatever we do, so if you have the same problem, because our pumpkin is quite big, just make another row, inserting your hook, so we can close it one more time. And this is how we close our pumpkin completely. To secure the thread, I prefer to make a knot with another yarn tail we left before. Or if you are working using just one thread, you can make a knot using your needle and inserting it into the center of the pumpkin. Now, after we close our bottom part, because I prefer this one will be our bottom, flip your pumpkin and let's stuff it with a filler. I'm using the filler from the pillow, so I'm trying to put as many filler as possible. I stuffed my pumpkin almost until the top. And now, let's get back to our bottom part and move the thread with the needle to the top. To do this, take a look at our pumpkin. We have these little braids and we have these gaps. We are going to put a little tie on these rows so we have a better form of our pumpkin. So, take your yarn with the needle and carefully start inserting your needle, skipping about 3 or 4 stitches, just like this. I'm skipping 4 stitches, you can skip more or less, it also depends on the size of our pumpkin. Now, if you're gonna to tie, you can see how the structure is carefully shown Now when we get back to our top part of the pumpkin, repeat the same process we made on the bottom part to close our pumpkin. When you reach the first stitch, start closing. Technically we had the same that we had before. That's why I'm going to make one more round of sewing together. Now make a knot to secure. You may also notice that this top connection of our pumpkin is not so accurate and aesthetic as this one, but don't worry, we are going to add some decor elements on the top of the pumpkin, so it will hide it. Now, with the rest of your yarn tail and the needle, start working in these rows across all the pumpkin to create a shape for it. And I'm going to work on the next row. Now you can see how we created this form on the pumpkin. When your first thread is over, you can use the second one if you were working with 2 threads at the beginning. For the next rows, you can just insert your hook into the top loop of this row and then insert it just in the center on the other side of the pumpkin and tighten it. I just finished my last row, this one, and I go back to the very first one where we still were using side stitches to pull the thread. Now I make a knot with some yarn tail I have here. If you don't have any yarn tail on the top of your pumpkin, just make a knot using your needle or hook. I'm trying to make as more as possible to secure the thread. So this is the pumpkin we have so far. As you can see, it got a little bit smaller. Now let's start making top decoration for our pumpkin to hide all this mess. For making a head for our pumpkin, I'm going to use this light brown yarn. It's also acrylic, and I'm going to work using just one thread. And also I'm going to switch to the hook number 5. First of all, make a magic ring. Pull up a loop. Now work 7 single crochet into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now slip stitch into the first single crochet and close our ring. Chain 1. Now turn and work single crochet into each single crochet of the previous row, which means we should make 7 single crochet again. I also highly recommend to put a stitch marker on your first single crochet so you're not gonna miss it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remove the stitch marker and work slip stitch into your first single crochet. chain 1, turn. Repeat the row of making single crochet into the each single crochet and each stitch from the previous row. So we again should have 7 single crochet in total. Don't forget to put your stitch markers into the first stitches of the row. One, 5, 6, and 7. Slip stitch into the first single crochet of the row. Chain 1 and turn. Now you can see the forming of a small head. Continue repeating the rows of 7 single crochet all across our ring until you're satisfied with the height of your head. For example, I want to be the height of my head for the pumpkin to be around 5 or 6 centimeters, which means I will continue making single crochet rows all across our ring until I will reach that measurement. You can make a smaller head or a bigger head, it depends on the size of your pumpkin. I have just made 7 rows of single crochet, and now let's make the other part of our head. To do this, chain 1 and start making 2 single crochet into each stitch, which means now we have to make 14 single crochet. 1, 2. Oh, and again I will put a stitch marker into the first single crochet. 3, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 14. Now slip stitch into the first single crochet of the row. Chain 1 and turn. Now you can see how we already have formed just a bit of our head. Continue making rows of 14 single crochet all across our circle until you are satisfied with its width. I will make 2 more rows. Again, no increases or decreases, just 14 single crochet into each single crochet from the previous row. I just finished 3 rows of single crochet, and now make slip stitch into your first single crochet of the row. Chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten up. Now hide the yarn tail. I still have some leftover from my pumpkin, so I get it back into the needle. And now let's sew our head, which fits perfectly. To do this, put your head upon the pumpkin and start carefully sew our head into the pumpkin. Insert your needle into the stitch from our last row of the head, then insert right into the next stitch and use the loops of our rows of the pumpkin, just like this. When you fully sewn your head, make a knot using your needle. Then cut the yarn, leaving a small tail, and insert your needle right under the head and pull the tail. That's it. That's how we hide the yarn tail. Now your big pumpkin is done. For the smaller pumpkin, I made 20 stitches and 20 rows and repeated all the same steps. Also, I add the same head, not changing the width or the length. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video!